This is FAFO, holler it loud. Fuck around with fiction, get the facts drawn. Getting triggers just the cost of the crowd. We're toxic to the lies, truth we're proud. This is FAFO, no smooth talk, no vow. You brought your stories, we brought the real. Now run your mouth and meet the South down. Fuck around and find out, burn it down. Muddy water don't care about your brand new shoes.
And welcome, everybody. Here we are. It's another Monday on the FAFO podcast. Hope y'all are doing well out there as tensions burn across the pond. UK is up in turmoil. You got more trans issues happening out in California. You've got FAFO everywhere. And I do mean everywhere. I'm going to show you so many. I've got a lot of clips to show you this morning. I do. I really do. And if you're listening through Spotify, you're listening through Apple Podcast or Amazon Music, I will make sure that you understand exactly what is going on. We've had a lot. It's been a lot. It's been a lot over the weekend. And so we're going to try to delve into some of that. I had a few things I was going to talk about. But then the more I was diving into a little bit of research for today's show, I got to looking at all the events that happened. I don't know how aware a lot of you are of the of what happened in the Maldives with these 5 divers. I mean, it was a terrible thing. And I don't know if they've still figured out exactly how they died. But it's one of those it was mysterious. I believe the bodies were found, from what I've heard. That all the bodies have been found now. So I got to tell you, when you're out here and you're doing these things, you're diving, and diving's not my thing, but I know it is a very popular sport. You know, people love to go scuba diving, and I imagine it's pretty amazing. I imagine it's a thrill. I have one of my clients that she goes, her and her family, they dive. They love it. They've been on several, and they absolutely love it. It's fun. They have a great time. Me, I'm a little bit jawsophobic. I'm not gonna lie to you, a little jawsophobic. Have no desire to get swallowed up while I'm in the great deep. None. But apparently that's not what happened here. And you have these missing divers. There was an expedition in the Maldives, and it's, you're talking about in the Maldives, that's crystal clear water. It's beautiful by all accounts. I've never seen it. I've seen pictures. It looks gorgeous. But imagine being out there. Imagine going out on one of these dives. Your whole day ahead of you, you have great spirits, everybody's suiting up. Got your wetsuit on. You're all geared up. And into the water you go, like you've probably done many times. Because if you're going diving, I know there's a lot of classes you have to attend. You get certified a lot of these times to do this. Like, you can't just go put on a suit if you've never been and just go do it. That's asking for trouble. And by all accounts, that's not what happened. So they're on the scuba dive in the Maldives. This happened last week. And apparently they go into this underwater cave. At least that's where the bodies are found at. Which kind of leads you to believe that's where they were at. And apparently that dive they went on was to explore these deep water reefs. These caves that are in there. And you have to have specialized equipment. And it's considered a very hazardous dive, according to the Maldives Defense Force. And I'm reading right here from the New York Times. You can check out their article on this. And so, and look, here's the thing you got to know about some of these divers. They're not inexperienced. They included Monica Montefalcone, a marine ecologist at the University of Genoa, and her daughter, Georgia Samacol. So probably people who know what they've been doing. Probably been doing this their entire lives. A biomedical engineering student from the same university. You had a former student of the ecologist went, and a diving instructor. That sounds like a normal day. Let's go by people who should know what they're doing, right? It doesn't sound like somebody who's just haphazardly jumping into the water with no clues as to the danger or as to the prep. Like they know what to do. And in the Maldives, scuba diving is like the backbone of that economy. It is tourism dependent. And it's internationally recognized for its pristine dive sites. So there was no reason when those 5 went into the water that they were worried at all about something bad happening. I mean, because these weren't tourists. These are locals. These are researchers. They've been working in that area for years. And yet, they fell to surface. And they were at a depth around 50 meters or about 164 feet, right? Now, the recreational diving limit in the Maldives is 30 meters. Anything deeper than that, you got to have special equipment. Now, the Coast Guard received a distress call around noon on Thursday. And then one body was discovered that evening around 196 feet, far deeper than that group had planned to go. They had suspended search operations. A group of Finnish divers arrived to try to help find them. And I just, you have to wonder what happened. Was it a bad oxygen mix in the specialized equipment they had? Is that what happened to it? Because right now the authorities, they're going over everything. They want to know whether it adhered to safety protocols, weather alerts, all the known dangers you look for when you're going on one of these dives, especially by divers who are experienced. Just a huge tragedy happening out there. Pretty sad. There was also a rescuer who was said to have died. I saw that last night. Zen says a rescuer also died from the bends, came up too fast, and that will get you. Mike says his daughter learned to scuba dive in Mexico, and she loves it. And that's what I'm saying. This is one of those things where you learn, you take the classes. So it's not like they're rookies, like they didn't know what to do out here. They knew. And yet the tragedy behind it, it's just terrible. I mean, I could only imagine. I'm not one of those who's going to do it. My body's not made for diving. It's made for sinking, not for any other thing. And just the fact that they went out there and you had this, it's just horrible, man. It's just horrible. You hate hearing about it. And it seemed that these last few days have been filled with this stuff. We were sitting here Saturday night, getting ready. We have the big fights were on, right? The MMA fights, the one they've been hyping up. Rousey, Carano. Now, I'm a huge Gina Carano fan. I love Gina. Not because I follow her so much in the mixed martial arts, but because of her acting and her as a human being. Especially after what Disney did to Gina Carano. And here she was out there in fighting against Disney for her career and her name. And she wins it. She wins the fight against Disney. Against Carano, she lasted against Rousey, she lasted 17 seconds. Against Ronda Rousey, she lasted a whole 17 seconds. That's how quick that main event fight was. And I get it. A lot of people were upset about it. Because when a fight like that happens, and it happens that quick, what's the first thing they say? It was rigged and staged. It was a setup. That's what everybody says. Everybody who doesn't truly understand what competition is, especially that kind of competition. Carano came in with a quick strike. Rousey said, nope, not doing that. Did a double leg takedown. Gina had her around the head. Almost looked like she DDT'd Rousey into the mat. But Rousey caveman tough. Shrugged that off. Fight out the attempted guillotine by Carano, and Gina twisted the wrong way, gave up the arm, and bam. And I thought that's where the strength of Rousey really showed, like her physical strength and how much stronger she is than Gina. She forced her hand out of there and got that arm, and that was it. Because that arm's only can't bend but one way. When you're trying to bend it the other, you got to give up or you're breaking it. It's just, that's it. There's nothing else. And it happened quick. And look, if you're a ticket buyer, which this is on Netflix, you weren't a ticket buyer, unless you were at the venue itself. And even then, you have to know that this is part of it. That this is just part of it. That, especially in a sport like that. You know, in a football game, you're getting 2 to 3 hours. Basketball, you're getting full games. In fights, you don't know. You don't know how it's going to go. They were both training hard. Carano hadn't been in the ring in 17 years. But she was ready. She was convinced. I loved their interaction afterwards. All the respect there. The happiness of just getting in there. Then when Gina was giving her a little speech at the end, and she was talking to them, you know, you could tell the frustration. She just wanted to unload some hands. She really didn't care to go there. She wanted to get some frustration she's been holding in for a while. So don't be surprised if you see Gina sign on for at least one more fight against another striker. I wouldn't be surprised. I still love Gina for it. I love Gina. Gina's awesome. Gina Carano is just awesome. Awesome human being. And she definitely gave Ronda all her flowers. And Ronda's still a beast. Ronda's still in fighting shape. Gina had to woo. Because Gina was a big old girl. She got to be a big old girl when she was doing that whole. Well, she was kind of large when she got into Mandalorian. And then she really got bigger afterwards when she was making just the rounds, sitting at home, you know, having to fight all of that craziness. But what a turnaround she made physically too. So as much as I wanted Carano to win, I'm not shocked at the way it happened. Certainly not shocked at the outcome. I don't think most people were. I thought they thought there was going to be more of a fight. But like I said, once Rousey was quick, she did that double leg takedown smooth and fast. And again, you could see her strength when she forced, because Gina was in a good position. She had her locked in. She was good. She could sit there. She felt she was good. But then you just saw the strength. Ronda got those couple of punches, kind of loosened that grip just a minute, got that hand in there, and showed how powerful she was. It was over. It was over. But I thought this was a good moment for both ladies. I thought it was a great moment for that company. The problem, I say it's a problem. It's not a problem. Most of the fights seemed kind of lopsided to me from that night. You guys may feel differently. What did you feel about this new company trying to compete with the UFC? What did you think about that? I'm not a big Jake Paul fan. I'm not. I see this dude. I'm just not a big Jake Paul fan. I'm a Logan Paul fan. For sure. Now, I don't follow Jake enough to know. I know Jake's smart enough to realize that, hey, he gets in there and he knows what he's trying to do. You know, he knows how to promote himself. He knows how to play the bad guy. Logan certainly does. And Ronda had come out and said that Dana had messaged her that morning of the fight, I believe. So I'm curious as what's next. Because here's the thing. Gina Carano had to lose 100 pounds to make this fight happen. 100 pounds. That, to me, is one of the most impressive things coming out of this. 13 pounds. That's a lot, dude. And so I think here was Ronda's quote. Here's Ronda's quote. I was hoping to come out as unscathed as possible. I didn't really want to hurt her. It was beautiful martial arts. That's what I think it was. It was art. And she's not wrong. I mean, she's a grappling machine, and she proved it. Carano, conversely, says, I wanted that to last longer. I was so ready. I felt so good. I've never felt that good. I haven't competed in 17 years. I wanted to hit her, but I'm getting in here. But getting in here is a victory. Fighting a legend is a victory. I feel great. I just wanted to fight. And they asked her, are you going to fight again? She said, I think 17 years off is a lot. Age 44 is a lot. The body just naturally slows. So there we go. As for Logan's company, it's what MVP Promotions, I think is the name of it. Will we see more of that? They say they're going to continue to book MMA events. They think they will be a compatible choice to go against UFC. So we'll see. We will see. The best fight on Saturday night is when BD didn't want Medusa in his home. That's the truth, dude. You are not wrong. You are not wrong. That is true. Like, nope, we're not having none of that. We're not having none of that. But yeah, and those are two big headlines. And you have the whole thing in the UK. That march this weekend, oh my God. Thousands turned up for that. Like thousands of people turned up for that thing. But they didn't tell you what you didn't hear a lot about was the counter protest in the UK. You didn't hear a lot of that. Why? Why? It was interesting. It was, I thought that was interesting because that's where you had a lot of cries for violence. You had a lot of people, and this is on, there's a show called Talk over there. And I was sitting there studying up on this, trying to figure out exactly what's going on. You know, trying to at least be and at least be honest about both sides here. We know what Tommy Robinson's deal is, and he says a lot of things that I could, just do away with, and some things that you agree with. There's some stuff where you have to just like, okay, that's dumb. And there's some things like, yeah, that's actually accurate. Both things can be true. And so they had this, so you had what they're labeling as the far right protest and the pro-Palestine protest. You know what the biggest difference was? The biggest difference in that protest, in both of those, was that people from the pro-Palestine who don't really know anything about Palestine, those people were calling for Tommy Robinson to be killed like Charlie Kirk. That's actually caught on audio and on video. For Tommy Robinson to be killed, to be murdered like Charlie Kirk. Now, how do you stand for that? Who looks and listens to people like that on your side and go, oh, yeah, that's what we need more of? Who does that and champions that? And then you have your leader who's on the side of the illegal immigrants, who wants to give all the tax money the British citizens pay into these illegal immigrants. Keir Starmer is probably the biggest puss of a political leader I have ever seen, and that is saying a lot. At least Biden, you can say, was just a rambling idiot. Right? Biden, you can say, he's just a rambling idiot. That tracks. But Starmer is just a puss. Just a sour puss. An unwashed spectacle of human garbage. That's what he is. And we had to witness that. Oh, yeah. We got to witness that the other night. It was crazy, man. And yet, there it was, on full display for the world to see. On full display for the world to see. But I don't know. Maybe that's just me. But there were some other FAFO moments. Y'all see some video clips? I think we should. I think we should get into a couple of these. And I'm going to show you these. So if you're watching on Kick, Rumble, YouTube, Facebook, you'll see these. If you're listening on Spotify, Apple Podcast, or Amazon Music, wherever you get your podcast from, I'll set this up for you. And then you'll hear the chaos in the background of it. That might be the best way to do it. So there was a couple out, older couple, just chilling out, 68-year-old man, just going on an evening walk with his wife. Gets attacked by a young homeless dude. Now, you hear that statement and you think, oh my God, here it comes. What are they going to do? Well, not so fast. Not so fast. Because it did not work out real well for that young homeless punk. Check this out. So he's standing off with him right now. He's swearing up to the old man, this is easy. He's got a knife. Here's something. He's got a knife in his hand.
Yeah. You get the fuck out of here.
And they're cussing at each other now.
Well, looks like Gary has had enough of the Soy Ninja's bullshit and throws a kick to his freaking gonads, his egg roll. And now it looks like the Soy Ninja is backing off. Gary has some more words. He pushes his woman out of the way. He's like, get out of here. Don't get involved. Of course, the Soy Ninja continues to mouth off. Gary's like, I think it's about time your mouth has had a meeting with my Coleman hiking boots and now throwing some shots, and it appears the Soy Ninja's backing off. Gary laying down some sloppy combinations, but they are effective as the Soy Ninja continues to back off, leaving a trail of soy piss behind. Gary crosses over with a big right and down goes the Soy Ninja. Gary tries to get involved, and Gary's like, back off, woman. I've been waiting my whole life for this one moment in time, and now putting the beat down. It's like, Karen, back off. This is pent-up aggression he's had dealing with you, and now grounding and pounding his way into a victory, and Soy Ninja on the floor, crying like a little bitch.
Oh, Lord. There you go. That did not work out well. That did not work out well for that little punk. I mean, wow. Wow. That dude Let me tell you something. I'm going to tell you there's a few things right here that happened. That old man whooped his ass. That old man whooped his ass. He's like 68 years old. Let me show you something. He laid this dude out. Protected his wife. Exactly, Mike. Ground and pound. Yes, he did. Ground and pound. I'm going to tell you something else. I don't know what was going to happen before all this when husband and wife get home. But by God, I'm pretty sure I know what happened now. I know what happened now. That dude earned him a prize. He earned a prize that night. Wife didn't want anything to happen. She's trying to help her man out, trying to keep him away from that. But still, she had to get that warm fuzzy going. That warm fuzzy feeling going after watching her old man whoop that ass. And you love to see it. A truly great FAFO moment. Oh, I absolutely love that. Absolutely loved that. Y'all think these old dudes can't fight? They've been fighting their whole lives. That dude wasn't about to walk away from that. He doesn't warn the guy. He warned him. He warned him. And then bam. Bam. Now I'm going to show you something else. This next thing I'm going to show you, this is not really, you can consider it a FAFO. I don't, because this has happened before. And what I mean by that is there was an air show. And y'all may have seen this. I haven't seen this before. I don't know how new this is. I just saw it. So this is brand new to me. Like I said, this may have already happened at some point. But there's two U.S. Navy jets. They collided midair. And just fell apart during this Gunpowder Skies air show at Mountain Home Air Force Base. I said, I don't know if you've ever seen this. I don't know if it's brand new or not. This is the first time I've seen it. Let's take a look. Then we get close. And then bam. I mean, they are tied together. Eject. Right there. And both those crabs straight to the ground. Wow. That is wild. That's wild to see that. I think that has to be current, right? I'm looking at it again here. You see that? Like, yeah, we have and then you see them float to the ground. Well, yeah, let's try to avoid that landing spot. They're not that high in there. That's crazy. Boy, that's crazy. That's a little wild. That's a little wild. Yeah, that would be a little terrifying. I'm not going to lie. That would be a little terrifying. Not only to witness that, to be a part of that. Dude, could you imagine? I can't. I mean, it's like, nope. And now, I got one more clip to show you. And this one, let me tell you something. I don't know. I mean, I do know what to think here. But this is, and I debated on whether or not to even show this clip. I've debated on whether or not to show this clip. And again, I don't know how old this one was. It's the first time I'd seen it. But so much of this stuff happens that you're just kind of numb to it. Like, yeah, that tracks. You're looking at it and going, oh, yeah, that works. That seems to be what, yeah. I mean, check this out. There was a chaotic teen takeover fight that erupted at Chipotle restaurant in Washington, D.C.'s Navy Yard neighborhood. And customers found themselves trapped inside. That's just been going on. These teams fighting, hitting each other with high chairs, with wood high chairs. That's just stupid. And dude, these are the worst sissified punches I've ever seen in my life. I mean, you can't feel the spot, really. These dudes, there were some punches thrown at first, but look how wild the punches are. Look how everybody's just running and hopping around. Like they want to throw a punch, but then they don't want to get hit, so they dancing and running out of the way. It's shit like this that just you shake your head, and you're like, what are we doing? What are we doing? And it's just, to me, it's just more of the same. And we keep justifying it as culture. Making excuses for it instead of correcting the behavior. Whew, I tell you, it's wild out there. It's wild. It is, folks. And it just shows you when you're out in public, you got to be aware of yourselves at all times. Whether it's a homeless person trying to attack you, whether it's stupidity like this breaking out in a restaurant where you're just trying to eat and have a good time. I mean, makes no sense. Makes no sense. But in good news, and some good news, the Israelis, they eliminated the Islamic Jihad commander this weekend as they did dozens of strikes in Lebanon. Yeah. Oh, yeah. They eliminated Muhammad Abad al-Ahim. Pretty sure I didn't pronounce that right, but he's a damn terrorist, so I don't care. But that terrorist ain't with us no more. And the strike that eliminated old Abda was one of 30 that Israel carried out over the past 24 hours in Lebanon. Got rid of him. He's the one. This dude they took out was one of the ones that had surrounded themselves with hostages on October 7th. This guy. He was another one of those. Another one of those cowards. Another one of those terrorists. Yep. FAFO, buddy. UFAFO big time. And then from California. Oh, my goodness. Dude, let me tell you something. There's just more and more and more. You had a girls' track and field meet in California. Became yet another national controversy for the second week in a row when a trans athlete swept 3 jumping events. All right, 3. So the trans athlete, A.B. Hernandez, won first place in the high jump, long jump, and triple jump at the California Interscholastic Federation Southern Section Finals on Saturday. But so too did the girl who would have finished first based on a rule enacted last year that awarded any female athlete that finished behind a trans athlete a higher placement. What the hell? So you're acknowledging the difference, but you're still allowing this insanity. And it is insanity. It is a mental health disease that we're trying to normalize as in it's just people. And no, that's not just people being people. It's dumb. It's disrespectful to our women. It is just crazy. It's funny, too, because this Democratic Party always tells we want to protect our women, want to do anything but. They want to do anything but protect the women. Why? Because their pockets are getting stuff full of money to promote this garbage. And it keeps getting promoted. Because the pockets are deep. Everybody in their right mind knows this is wrong. Everybody knows that. I mean, here, look, Riley Gaines. Riley Gaines says it right here. If you have to create a shared podium for the boy competing in girls' events, you've already admitted you know he isn't a girl and that his participation is unfair. What I just said. At that point, you're just seeking a public humiliation ritual for the girls. I agree, Riley Gaines. This is crazy. Crazy. Create you a trans games. I guarantee you one thing. Guarantee you what you're not going to find. You know why they don't do that? You know why they don't have you got boys, girls, and they have a trans one over here? You know why? Because they know that if you did that, if you had a trans column over here, and you put the trans boys, girls together over here, they know that the only ones winning in those categories are going to be the ones who are male who identify as female. It won't be the females who identify as male. That's why they don't do it. Because then it's just right there in your face for you to see. It's gross. It's sad that people on the left hate our females. They hate our women. They hate our daughters, our mothers, our sisters. It's absolute disdain. And it's sick. Absolutely disgusting. And why people are afraid to speak out about this is mind-boggling. I know why people on the left are. Especially people up in Hollywood, those places, because they want to be sure that they're not. And this is crazy too. That is such a small percentage of people in that trans community. Such a small percentage. Like that does not affect your stardom whatsoever. And unless you're an absolute moron, as so many have come out to show and prove that they are. These people who try to preach to you, you know this is wrong. You absolutely know it's wrong. And if you back it, you're just being dishonest with yourself and everybody else because you know it's wrong. It's funny how the left tries to talk about biology and science until the science don't match their opinions. Right? Science is great until it proves them wrong. And then it's about feelings now. Get these people help. Get these people help. There should not be a child in high school doing this. Now, if you're a full-ass grown adult and you want to dress up in a dress, or if you're a chick, you want to dress up as a dude, fine. You're an adult. You go make that decision. But these children being made to do this, it's wild to me. It's wild. All right, before we go, I got some cool things we're going to do today. So I was going to do this, so I'm going to. I'm a sports guy. I love sports. I do. don't watch a lot of basketball or baseball until really it gets into the playoffs, because there's so many games. Now, football season, I watched this whole season from preseason all the way through Super Bowl. I'm locked in. College, NFL, let's go. I'm not one of those that picks one or the other. Got to have this or I'm this. I like it all. It's football. My favorite college stars going to the NFL. My team never gets my favorite college stars, but that's okay. So I want to show y'all some highlights, some clips, some buzzer beaters, if you will. Now, this is from a few days ago, but I thought these were pretty cool. Why? Because the Portland Fire had a buzzer beater for their first win since returning to the WNBA. Yeah, let's check this out. Check this out. This is pretty cool. This is pretty cool. I'm going to get this loaded up for you, and we can check this out together. Take a look.
To go. Ooh, tiptoeing, taking care of the basketball, where it's going to start. Richard Carlton, Stewie in her face. The shot is short. Parker at the buzzer, and Portland wins it.
Wow. Wow. And look at this crowd. This is a huge crowd for the Portland Fire. I mean, they got streamers coming down.
The great look from Bridget Carlton does not go, and Sarah Ashley Barker wasn't even on the side of the rim that the ball came off, but it was that hustle, that want, that will to win. Fire
amazing
fans, incredible finish, the first win of the season.
It is awesome.
Chills.
I mean, they're in it. So when the WNBA started up, this is what you were kind of hoping you would get out of the WNBA. This is the Caitlin Clark effect. I know people are tired of hearing it, but it's true. Look at this crowd. Look at this crowd. Speaking of Caitlin Clark, she has done nothing but wonders. And there's one. This is about 3 years ago. This is why people fell in love with Caitlin Clark right here. And I'm going to show it to you too. Now, by the way, that poor girl right there lost a family member 2 days earlier. Thanks, Mike, for this information. First win in the history of the franchise against a favorite to win the championship. I love it. I love it. But we're going to end it with this one. This is Caitlin Clark. This is called The Shot. And this is one of the reasons why people fell in love with Caitlin. This is one of the reasons why people fell in love with Caitlin. I'm going to tell you, I mean, not only was she a badass in her college career, but the girl just hustles. She's just got that touch. She's got that it factor. Period. She just has it. Check this out.
Martin looking. Here's Clark. She fires. And it goes! She hits!
Dude, this is wild. Yeah.
Screen, another screen. More McNeil trying to get around. Runs into Sonata. Oh, and just look at that. Off balance, going to the right. Doesn't matter if everyone knows whose hands it's supposed to be in. Magic happens when magic happens, and we've seen it a lot with Caitlin Clark.
And a legendary career adds another page in the legend.
You absolutely gotta love it.
Yeah.
Champions of the night.
Can't play that part of it because it'll get copyright. Try to do it. That was great. That was great, man. That was so much fun. But those are the things that are possible. Yeah, I love that. So we're going to do this on Mondays. We're going to do this on Mondays. We're going to have these highlight videos. I think they're fun. And I'll be showing y'all more. I'll find y'all more from the weekends. And we'll keep it current. But it wouldn't have been right today not to pull up something from Caitlin Clark. Because at this point, I'd rather watch Caitlin play than a lot of these big-time crybabies in the NBA. I'm not lying. I'm not making that up. It's just, I've been soured on the NBA for quite a while. And it's just, at least these ladies are trying to get it back and get it done. Even those who hate Caitlin, which is stupid. Yeah. So, guys, thank y'all for tuning in today to the FAFO podcast. Because I had a whole other thing lined up, and I thought, you know what? I was gonna redo some of the topics I'd had for Saturday's show, so I kind of got rid of Saturday's show, and because I had so many issues, my technical issues. There were a lot when I was trying to download it, but there we are. That's a Monday's episode for you. Tomorrow we'll be back to the regular format. But you got to stay safe out there, people. Watch your surroundings. Remember, don't let anybody come around and FAFO. If they're going to FAFO you, or how about this? If they're going to FAFO, if they're going to FA you, make sure you FO them. Maybe that's the best way to say it. Because people are stupid, people are crazy. We live in crazy times. We do. But you have been listening to the Fuck Around and Find Out podcast. Truth, facts, no BS. Let's effing go.
Floor on the floor, have a tank of gas. Does he boots on the wood, let the whiskey pass? I ain't preaching from a pulpit, I'm talking from the scar. You can dress up a lie, but it won't get far. They call it toxic when it burns your tongue. I call it true when it's finally sung.